I was just a shadow in my own plan, counting dreams, holding books in my hand. Then you came crashing like a storm through my sky. Danger in your smile, but truth in your eyes. And I swore I'd never fall, but you made me break my walls. It started as a game, but my heart won't be the same. It's a dare to love, a risk I'm taking, a flame in the dark, a fire worth saving. I was safe, I was strong, but I needed something more. So I'm daring to love. You're the noise that keeps me wide awake.
By the third week of the dare, Ella was convinced of one thing: Mikel Williams was chaos in human form. He disrupted her reading schedules, hijacked her quiet lunch breaks, and dragged her into conversations she never wanted to have. But worst of all, he made her laugh. It infuriated her. It started small. One morning during assembly, Ella stood at attention, nodding along with the national anthem. Suddenly, she felt something brush against her hand. She glanced down and saw a folded piece of paper being passed discreetly. Her heart skipped. Notes during assembly. That was Mikel-level mischief. She opened it cautiously. Stop frowning. You'll get wrinkles before graduation. Your darling boyfriend. Ella gasped softly, glaring across the rows. Sure enough, Mikel was 2 lines over, grinning like the devil. He winked. She quickly stuffed the note into her pocket, cheeks burning. At lunch, it was another ambush. Ella sat with Kayamika, going through biology flashcards, when a tray of food landed in front of her. Eat, Mikel ordered, sliding into the seat beside her. Ella frowned. I brought my own food. I know. But you always bring those boring sandwiches. I got you jollof rice with chicken. Proper food for a queen. I'm not your queen, she shot back. Not yet, he said with a grin. Kayamika burst into laughter. Mikel, leave her alone. Never, he declared. This is my girlfriend we're talking about. The word sent a strange shiver through Ella. She told herself it was irritation. Just irritation. But irritation didn't explain the way her stomach fluttered when he draped his arm casually over her shoulder one afternoon. Or how her pulse quickened when he leaned in close to whisper a joke in class, his breath warm against her ear. Or how she found herself smiling, actually smiling, at his ridiculous antics. It was confusing. Maddening. Dangerous. She reminded herself. This is pretend. Just 1 month. Yet her heart seemed determined not to listen. One Wednesday, everything changed. Ella had stayed back after school to study in the library. The compound was quiet, most students gone. She was so buried in her chemistry notes she didn't notice someone slide into the chair across from her until a voice said, "You really don't know how to relax, do you?" She looked up. "Mikel, what are you doing here?" "Spending time with my girlfriend," he replied smoothly. "I'm not," she started, then sighed. "Can you please let me read in peace?" Instead of answering, Mikel reached across and gently closed her textbook. "Mikel, you've been reading all day. Do you even know how to have fun?" "Studying is fun," she said defensively. He chuckled. "You're unbelievable." Before she could protest, he grabbed her hand. "Come with me. Mikel." No arguments. He pulled her out of the library, across the empty basketball court, and toward the sports hall. She tried to resist, but his grip was firm yet oddly gentle. Finally, they stopped in front of the piano tucked into a corner of the hall. Ella blinked. "What is this?" "Sit. Mikel. Trust me," he said softly. Something in his voice made her obey. He sat beside her, fingers brushing the piano keys. Then, to her shock, he began to play. Soft, haunting notes filled the hall. Ella's mouth fell open. You play piano? Mikel smiled faintly, eyes on the keys. Don't tell anyone. It'll ruin my bad boy reputation. She watched, mesmerized, as the melody flowed. It was beautiful, gentle, vulnerable, nothing like the wild, reckless image he showed the world. When he finished, silence hung in the air. Why don't you let people see this side of you? She whispered. His jaw tightened. Because they wouldn't care. People only want the version of me that makes noise. The one that entertains them. Not this. Ella's chest ached. For the first time, she saw past the bravado. The sadness hidden underneath. Mikel, she began, but he cut her off with a grin, masking the moment. Careful, Johnson. You look like you're falling for me. Ella scoffed, but her cheeks warmed. In your dreams. Every night, he said smoothly. Her heart skipped. From that day, things shifted. Ella found herself noticing details she hadn't before, how Mikel's laughter wasn't always careless, sometimes it was a shield. How he avoided questions about his family. How his eyes softened when he caught her smiling. And Mikel, in turn, treated her differently too. He still teased, still played the arrogant boyfriend, but sometimes his words carried an edge of sincerity that unsettled her. You're not like other girls, he told her once during a walk home. Ella rolled her eyes. That's such a cliché. It's true, he insisted. You see me in ways no one else does. She didn't reply, afraid of what her heart might say. But not everyone was happy about their relationship. By the 4th week, Ella began receiving anonymous notes in her locker. Stay away from Mikel. He's not for you. You think you're special. You're just his latest dare. Some girls confronted her openly. Ella, I beg free Mikel. He's ours, not yours. Ella tried to brush it off, but the words gnawed at her. Was she just a dare? Just another story for Mikel to laugh about later with his friends. The thought hurt more than she expected. One Friday afternoon, as the month drew closer to its end, Ella finally asked him. They sat on the bleachers after basketball practice, the sun dipping low. Mikel, when this month is over, what happens? He raised a brow. You counting the days? I just want to know, she said quietly. His smile faltered. For once, he didn't have a witty reply. He looked away, jaw tense. Maybe I don't want it to end, he admitted softly. Ella's breath caught. What do you mean? I mean, this doesn't feel like a game anymore. Silence stretched between them, heavy, electric. Ella's heart raced, torn between fear and something dangerously close to hope. That night, lying in bed, Ella couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling, replaying his words. Maybe I don't want it to end. Her heart whispered that she didn't want it to end either. But her mind screamed that it was impossible. Mikel Williams was reckless. Dangerous. Too bad for her. And yet, why did it feel like he was the only person who truly saw her?
Foolish game, but now nothing feels the same. It's a dare to love, a risk you're taking, a flame in the dark, a fire